First King chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. Now there cried a certain woman of the wives of the sons of the prophet unto Elisha, saying, Thy servant, my husband, is dead, and thou knowest that thy servant did fear the Lord, and the creditor is come to take unto him my two sons to be bondmen. And Elisha said unto her, What shall I do for thee? Tell me, what hast thou in the house? And she said, Thy handmaid had not anything in the house save a pot of oil. Then said, Go borrow thee vessels abroad of all thy neighbors, even empty vessels, borrow not a few. That was Elisha and the widow's oil. What is the topic now? Don't waste that experience. Now, this is a woman, a widow, from what we just read in this Second King chapter 4, verse 1 to 3. The Bible told us that this woman said her husband was late. That is the wife of a late prophet. But before the husband died, the husband was a debtor, was owing some people. And these people came to collect the money, and this woman did not have the money to give to the debtors. And they said, wow, since you don't have the money, we are going to take your two sons to become bondmen they're going to be slaves, and they're going to be working in our, working for us. And the woman cried out. I knew the implication of taking the son because the husband was late and the sons will also be taken. And she ran to the prophet at that time. That was Elisha. And she narrated the whole thing to Elisha and said, Elisha, prophet, this is what I'm going through. And the prophet asked her, what do you have? She said she has a pot of oil. And the prophet said, wow, if you have a pot of oil, go to your neighbor, borrow vessels, go outside, go abroad, not a few, and fill it up, and you'll be able to sell. What was the prophet trying to tell? The prophet was asking her, what experience do you have? Because she was in a tight corner to pay bills, to settle the bill the husband had. And he asked her, what is the experience? What can you offer? Whatever you can offer, tell it to your neighbors and tell it abroad. You can go and tell your neighbor, I can plait hair. You can tell your neighbor, I can do laundries. You can tell them, wow, I'm very good I'm a housekeeper. That little one you can do, that experience you have, share it abroad. Tell your neighbors, wow, I'm good. You can be walking and see a site where they are walking. You can walk up to them and say, wow, I'm very good in this. Do you have anybody supplying sand? I am very good in that. I have people that can supply sand. You go there and supply. That's exactly what prophet Elisha was trying to tell the woman. Why sit down and cry? Go to your neighbors. Tell them what you can do. While you are rendering those services, you are being paid. As you are being paid, you'll be able to come out from that situation. You'll be able to pay that debt that your husband was owing before he died rather. Remember, he asked, he said, what do you have? A pot. Pot means that thing you grew up with. Maybe while you were growing up, you saw your mother could sell, and you learned that trading. Or you saw your mother was able to plait hair, you learned it. Or you saw your father was a carpenter, you learned it. That thing you learned, that primary thing you learned, is the experiences you acquire in the period of time where you were growing. So God is trying to tell you, don't waste those experiences. Don't waste them. Don't waste those experiences at all. Don't waste it. Tell people what you can do. Tell people I'm good at this. Tell people I can do that. I can do, just like Jennifer Dowry. Remember, when she came, she was telling people, I can plait hair, I can do this, I can do this. Why she was rendering services, those were the experiences she had. We're not talking about PhD. We're not talking about what you have acquired. No. Could be skills you are acquired. We did not even pay for it while you were growing up, and you just learned it. By telling your neighbors and telling people around, and you are rendering those services. While you are rendering those services, while the money is coming, you'll be able to pay your debts and you will come out of it. That's why God said today, don't waste those experiences. Those experiences can pay your bills. God bless you.